This is Alex Wood with the Journal Enquirer. I'm here with Mark Conley at the Cotton Hollow Kitchen, and recently ran into some financial difficulties and put a message on Facebook asking for help. And if you could, Mark, if you could tell us a little bit about the response you got to that, I'd much appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alex. Um, we have been struggling to get people in the restaurant, especially since around Thanksgiving when the governor and the news were saying don't eat in restaurants because they're not safe. So we plugged in UV lighting, lots of plastic barriers, and 6-foot distancing everywhere to keep people safe. What happened was people stopped coming in volume, and we started to fall short every week of our bills and our expenses. So my wife Joanne and I have been funding the restaurant for about 7 straight weeks to the tune of $50,000 that came out of our savings account to ensure that my employees got paid and I could meet my expenses. So it's been a real struggle, and I got to the point where I reached out on Facebook and I told my story and I asked for help. And help I got in unbelievable kindness of human beings. I had everything from to go jump way up, to in-house dining jump way up, to people making donations to the restaurant to help us financially. And then I had a guardian angel who chose to remain anonymous, who called and asked me what I needed. And he said he wanted to buy $15,000 worth of gift cards to help our cash flow and to hand out to friends to bring them into the restaurant in the future. So the response has just been overwhelming and beautiful.
So I gather from talking to you before that one of the things that led to the financial problems that you described is that the state had an aid program at the end of last year, but it was based on certain calculations of revenue, and which were affected by the fact that this is a pretty new restaurant that started just in the latter part of 2019. I wondered if you could discuss that real briefly with us.
Sure. So Governor Lamont did a $50 million grant program that went out to 10,000 different small businesses, $5,000 each, which I got. Then they announced they were going to do a $35 million grant that would also go to small businesses, particularly restaurants, but there was no application. It was all monitored by the Department of Revenue Service, where they looked at your sales, sales tax, payroll, and payroll taxes comparing 2019 to 2020. You needed to show a decline of at least 25% in sales. So unfortunately, I opened October 25th of 2019. I only had 8 to 9 weeks of history. So if they compared 2019 to 2020, it looks like I made money, and I was not qualified to receive any grant money. Now that round of grants was going to be $35 million going to 2,000 small businesses in increments of 10, 15, 20, 25, and $30,000. I was sure hoping to get one, and unfortunately I didn't. And that was when my wife and I realized our well is drying up fast, and we pleaded for help on Facebook.
And you told me the decision to put that item on Facebook wasn't easy for you.
It was a very hard thing to write that you don't feel like you're succeeding when you know you're doing everything right. And it was quite emotional for both Joanne and myself. But I will tell you, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't be where I am standing right now. We may have had to close our doors for good.
Okay, well, I thank you very much. Really appreciate you speaking with us.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Take care.